Autism to me is a real enigma. It's one of the most complex disorders I've ever seen. Actually, when you work with an autistic child, you learn to appreciate, whoever has created the brain. It's one amazing thing. And when you see children on the spectrum, you find such a variety. There are kids who can speak, kids who cannot speak, kids who can do academic work versus who cannot do, kids who have very good, coordination with their hands and fingers, and kids who are, actually quite bright but unable to even tie a shoelace. Kids who are passive and hypo to hyper and, having a lot of behavior difficulties. And we just say autism, it just doesn't mean anything. It can be, the child can have any of these, conditions. And teaching these children is such a challenge. I always feel that if we are not able to get through to a child, I think we need to really look at our own creativity. Because I know somewhere we can really reach out to this child, but we have to really figure out what is the way and how to actually make this child understand what we are trying to communicate. So it's one of the most complex conditions, but extremely challenging. So I think people who are really passionate about it, then if they get into this field, they will do wonders with this field. There's such a large need, for autism today. When you look at so many areas of this disorder, we don't have adequate schools. Parents are traveling from one end of the town to the other for a child to be in school. We don't have adequate therapists, especially for speech and language. Many of them who are trained here are all outside the country.
It's extremely challenging to raise children who have pervasive developmental disorder. Having said that, please don't neglect yourself. You need to function not just at a usual or what can be called normal level. You should be functioning at a supernormal level. So even the mildest of ill health, both physical and psychological, do attend to it and take care of yourself.
Awareness in the society is so limited, then how are we going to create opportunities? We are looking at what happens to them as they get older. So we are looking at employment opportunities. We are looking at opportunities for them to be accepted. Maybe even in a simple things like, taking them to a recreation place. These children have to be accepted. They may be a little different, they may act a little different, but we want acceptance from the society. Because I think that's the first step. If we come up with the right attitude, these children will really have a better place. Government needs to do so much more. Right now I feel it's like the responsibility of the school to raise its resources, to train the teachers, to deal with the parents, to understand autism, and it's like everything is on our shoulders. So we're saying, hey, come on, got to share your burden. We can't be doing everything. At least you give us the funding or you give us the teachers. Don't expect us to do everything, and then we have to show progress. And when parents come from out of Bangalore, settling, trying to settle in Bangalore because we have some of the good schools in Bangalore, the responsibility increases even more. So it's not a very pretty picture, but the situation is as difficult as the disorder today. So we are trying to deal with two things. So I think society somewhere really needs to understand there are so many of us who are able-bodied who can really make a difference. They just have to make up their mind.